They said George would never succeed. They laughed at him, ignored him, pushed him to the last bench of the class. But no one knew that the boy they underestimated the most was about to do something that would silence every voice that mocked him. This is the story of the last bench boy, who turned every insult into strength, and every failure into a reason to rise. There was a boy named George, living in a small town. In school, everyone called him the last bench boy. Teachers never paid much attention to him. Classmates never invited him. And most people believed he would never achieve anything. But inside George lived something powerful. A dream. Every evening he sat alone in his small room, writing in his notebook. One day, I will prove them wrong. Life wasn't easy for him. His family struggled with money. His father was sick. And every day at school he heard the same painful jokes. This guy, he can't do anything. He belongs on the last bench forever. George listened silently. But deep in his eyes, a fire was burning, a fire nobody noticed. One day, the school announced a science competition. The intelligent kids were excited. The confident ones were preparing. But when George picked up the form to participate, everyone laughed. He's joining too. The last bench boy wants to compete with us. George didn't reply. He only thought one thing. I'm not here to participate. I'm here to win. Every night he worked on his project. Sometimes things broke. Sometimes electricity went out. Sometimes his eyes were filled with exhaustion. But he refused to quit. The competition day came. The school auditorium was full. Everyone's projects looked shiny and perfect. And George's? Simple, small, but made with pure dedication. When his turn came, his hands were slightly shaking. But his words were steady and full of belief. He explained his project, then ended with one sentence. People think last bench students are weak. But they never measure our courage. The entire hall fell silent. The judges announced the results. Third place. Second place. George's name was not called. Then the principal stepped forward and said, "And the first prize goes to George." That moment wasn't just a trophy for him. It was the reward for every sleepless night. Every tear. Every insult he swallowed silently. The same classmates who once laughed at him were now clapping the loudest, calling his name with pride. That day, George learned something powerful. People will underestimate you again and again. But when you rise, they will be the ones telling your story. George is no longer a last bench boy. Today, he is a reminder that dreams belong to those who refuse to give up.